Fuck it, I'm back. It's time for another English lesson, and today I'm going to give you 16 of the most essential grammar terms and their meanings for all you out there learning English. Okay, so here we go. First of all, we have verbs, and verbs are doing words. For example, to see, to speak, to smell, to hear, to clap, to run, to walk, to sleep. These are verbs. Next we have nouns. Nouns are naming words. For example, table, chair, dog, cat, sky, aeroplane. These are naming words. The next one we have is adjectives. And adjectives are describing words. They describe nouns. For example, this table is brown, this chair is big, this cat is aggressive, this dog is nice. These are adjectives. You describe them. Then we have adverbs. Adverbs are basically describing how you do verbs, which are doing words. So if I can say I run, I can quickly run, I can slowly run, I can happily run, I can sadly run, I can angrily run. These are adverbs, so how you do a verb. The next thing we have is prepositions, and there's two types of prepositions. Prepositions of place and prepositions of time. Prepositions of time are on, in, and at. So I'll meet you on Saturday, in the evening, or at the weekend. The next one we have is prepositions of place. So on, in, at as well, but also under, on, next to, behind, in front of, through. These are prepositions of place. So these are the next ones. The next type of words we have are conjunctions, and they conjoin two parts of the sentence together. So and, or, but, because. So these are conjunctions. They put two parts of the sentence together. The next thing we have vowels and consonants. And these are types of letters. For example, A, E, I, O, U are vowels, and consonants are the rest of the letters in the alphabet. This is not so important apart from when you think of the next one, which is articles. And articles are and the. And the difference when we have different pronunciation, we have and the and the. And when it starts with a vowel, A, E, I, O, U, so it's an ice cream, an elephant, an umbrella. These start with a vowel, so they have an as an article. We have a dog, a cat, a table, a chair. And it's the same with the and the elephant, the umbrella, the ice cream, or the cat, the dog, and the table. So these are articles. We also use the word some when we talk about things in plural, when there's more than one. So there are some dogs, there are some tables. So these are articles. The next one we have is tenses. And tenses are to talk about time. And in English, we have 12 tenses. It's a lot, I know. The names of them are present simple, present continuous, past simple, past continuous, future simple, future continuous. And you have 6 perfects. So present perfect simple, present perfect continuous, past perfect simple, past perfect continuous, future perfect simple, and future perfect continuous. These are the 12 tenses, and some of them are a little bit more complicated than the others. The perfect tenses are a bit harder to understand, but these are the 12 that we use, and so you can go and research that yourself and find out more about them. What's the next one we have? Punctuation. Punctuations are things we have in the sentences, for example, full stop, or exclamation mark or question mark that add either extra emphasis, lets you know you are creating a, let me do this so I still have my notes here, that you have a question, that it's the end of the sentence, you have a comma in the middle of the sentence when you would naturally take a breath, or to break the sentence up into smaller parts. So this is punctuation. The next thing we have is spelling. And spelling, as a lot of you will know, is a pain in the ass in English. For example, I live here in the Czech Republic, and we have a phonetic spelling system. And that means how you say it is how you spell it. But in English, unfortunately, it's all over the place, and you have to kind of get used to the spelling of each individual word and do it. It's not the best system, but it's what the system we use and we have. So we have a non-phonetic spelling system. The next one we have idioms. Idioms are very important in English, and we have thousands and thousands of different idioms, and they're ways of expressing yourself more interestingly, more clearly, to talk about certain situations using words that are not really related. I'll give you an idiom. If you have a business meeting and you use the idiom to break the ice, you're not literally breaking ice, but it means to make the meeting more comfortable, to talk about some normal, informal things to get the meeting really relaxed before you start going into business. So these are idioms, and we have a lot of them. For example, if you say something is a piece of cake, it means it's very easy. It's like finding a needle in a haystack is very hard. It's like shooting fish in a barrel, it means it's very easy. So these are idioms. Now I know in your language and every language there's a lot of different idioms, and the same with English. So the next one we have phrasal verbs. And phrasal verbs are very simply a verb and a preposition. So pick up, put down, go away, walk around. And we have these that add different meanings to the verbs. For example, if I say pick, there's a number of different words. Pick means to choose. Do you want tea or coffee? Pick one. You could pick your nose, you could pick a scab, and things like this. But when we have pick up, there's a number of different meanings. For example, you can pick up something from a table. You can pick up a person from the airport. You can pick up a person in a bar, which means you want to take them home. You can pick up a language, which means you are able to understand it quicker. So there's a number of different meanings, and by having the phrasal verb, it gives you some extra meanings to play with. So these are phrasal verbs. What's next? Yeah, we have comparatives. Comparatives and also superlatives. And comparative comes from the word compare. So you can compare two things. So if I say, this hand is bigger than this hand, bigger is a comparative because this hand is smaller than this hand. This hand is nicer than this hand. And with comparatives, when it's anything that's over 2 syllables, so if I say big, small, empty, easy, anything like this, this hand is easier, this hand is bigger, this hand is emptier, we just use up. But when it's more than 2 syllables, when we have 3 syllables, for example, this hand is more beautiful than this hand. This hand is more comfortable than this hand. Comfortable, beautiful, sensible. These words have 3 syllables, so you use the word more or less if it's going to be less. This hand is less beautiful than this hand. So these are comparatives, and then you have superlatives. So the biggest, the best, the tallest, the smallest. So each, how do you say each? I've forgotten the word now. I'm trying to talk so quickly. If I say big, bigger, biggest. Each adjective, that's the word I'm looking for, adjective. So if you say something is big, something is bigger than the thing. So if I say this hand is big, but an elephant is bigger than this hand. But the biggest animal on the planet is a whale in the sea. So we have small. This hand is small, but a mouse is smaller. But the smallest living organism on the planet is a bacteria, unless I'm very much mistaken. So these are superlatives and comparatives. You compare, and then it's like the biggest or the highest level. And the last one we have is countable and uncountable nouns. And these are nouns that you can count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and nouns that you can't count, which so you have to say there is a lot, there is a little, there is some, there is a great deal of. And some examples of this: countable, dog, cat, table, chair, car, tree. So 1 tree, 2 trees, 1 table, 2 tables, things like this. And we have uncountable nouns. For example, sugar. There is some sugar on the table, there is some sand, there is some water, there is some oxygen, there is some money. And a lot of you say money is countable. Money is uncountable. I have some money, I have a lot of money, I have a little money. And as soon as to make it countable, you have to put it into a currency. I have £300, for example. So you put it into a currency, or I have $20. And it's the same with other uncountable nouns. If I say sugar, there's a lot of sugar or there's a little sugar. But if I want to put it into pieces, I can say there is a cube of sugar, there is a packet of sugar, there is 1 grain of sugar. Same with sand, same with oxygen. There's a molecule of oxygen, there's a grain of sand. If you were to talk about liquids, water. There is a bottle of water, makes it countable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bottles of water. But water, you can say there is 1 drop of water, or there is a molecule of water. And so this is how we make uncountable nouns countable. And these are your 16 essential grammar terms. Once you get your head around these terms and you understand what these mean, you can really expand your knowledge much more. There's a lot of other grammar terms, but to be honest, they're not really that important. So this is your lesson for today, and I welcome you back to the English of everything. Speak to you later, guys. Bye-bye.